And there we go again. It's Dream Gaming versus TongFu. And I changed my co-caster. Mike joins me because the Mounties, they don't have the stamina to actually punch this through. And the Americans there so, I know, so glorious today, full of energy since it's the 4th of July. So happy independence, whatever you're independent from now. It doesn't really matter. We are casting Chinese Dota, and actually good Dota. The games so far have been fun. The last game was very one-sided. Nevertheless, we learned something new about Queen of Pain. My name is Heflamoke, and I'm casting now with Mr. Mikelorus. Still, Mr. Corrupt Trap Bear is on the stats, so also shout out to him. Of course, you can also follow all those guys as well as HeflaTV everywhere on the social media. But let's look into this draft, Mr. Mikelorus. What do you say?
No mic face, Bible thump. You dropped the ball, dude. Dream Gaming, they haven't actually played any games today, which is really weird, just like scheduling wise. I don't know how that could possibly happen, but they're not really in a great spot at 0-3. I believe once you get 4 wins, then your chances are very slim. 5 wins, and you're just playing out. So far 0-3 doesn't really bode well for Dream, and well, TongFu, they're at the top, or close to the top, I guess, close to tied with Energy Pacemaker, but yeah, either way, just with the records alone, you would say TongFu probably have this one in the bag, but hell, TongFu, they're already through, quite honestly, so fighting for a #1 spot, I don't really think it matters that much, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Undying is out, as well as the Clockwork now that goes along with what we had previously. The same goes for the Clockwork, a pretty dominant pick in with those Chinese teams. Yesterday we had Clockworks, today we had, I don't know how many, 3, 4, something like that. And the Coddle, that's the only anomaly right now, pretty much.
It's here that we see occasionally, but I think most of the time you could play around him enough. If the plan of Dream was to go for Leshrac, go for a lot of pushing, grab a DK and whatnot, then getting a Keeper of the Light who gets a fast Aghanim Scepter with that infinite heal can be really difficult to deal with, but it's instead just going to be banned out, so I guess that's the easiest way to deal with it. Gyrocopter Rubik, the opening for TongFu, a nice little combo, just lift them up into the Rocket Barrage, and most heroes will just die from that.
Yep. But classic Earthshaker coming out after the Leshrac. That's something we also saw multiple times today. I think the Gyrocopters in all these drafts have 100%, while the Leshracs, they struggle a bit. And we also saw a Leshrac not played in a core role today, which was very interesting to me, because it's like, I don't know, this meta at the moment feels like once in a lifetime you see that actually happening. I can't even remember if it worked out or not. Fact is, we got an Earthshaker, it's nice for laning. The Rubik, I also like this pick. We had a similar thing where the Rubik could choose between Queen of Pain and Leshrac spells right from the get-go. It was like both of them were picked, and then the Rubik was the answer to it. So we have to see. Right now he can of course work with the Fisher as well as with the Leshrac spells. It's already good for Rubik. He can have a lot of fun here.
And even if he never steals anything useful, just having a point-click stun. Damn it, Dream Gaming, why? Just having a point-click stun with the Gyrocopter is so useful. Techie's banned out again. It's like Meepo banned out. Like, I know that there's never really a huge chance that he's gonna show up, but it always breaks my heart a little bit knowing that there's absolutely no chance of him showing up.
Nope, not gonna happen. Since they banned out the Coddle, then you have to ban out PL as well. So they have, like, you know, a nice team in the ban team, I guess. So he's definitely out. I mean, you could still play PL without a Coddle. It's not needed, even though, yeah, you could actually group it. About the techies, I don't know what's going on with this techies stuff and the Chinese. I think, in this Chinese tournament, on the Chinese scene, we have not seen a techies yet. Not yesterday, not today, but we have seen it banned at least 5 times, 4 times, 5 times, something like this. So it's pretty crazy, the fear of techies.
Yeah, it's about 5 times too many. I don't think it's worth the ban, and I barely think it's worth the pick. You need a very specific draft that could abuse techies, and you have to play a certain way also. It is a hero that, much like Broodmother, warps the game super, super heavily. So either way, like Techie's not going to be a part of this game. TongFu still looking for their mid lane hero, knowing that the matchup is going to be up against Leshrac and kind of a Shaker who's going to be supporting that mid lane as well. There aren't really many great choices for heroes that will win the lane. I think at this point, if you're TongFu, you just grab a mid laner that won't lose it too badly.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, Storm Spirit, that's completely fine. That's something I don't understand. about the Chinese drafting at the moment. Like after all these games, I'm by far not an insider in the Chinese scene, but like every single game we have a Storm Spirit, and every single game he is either a very, very good value pick or even the playmaker, the initiations, etc. I mean, the last 2 games were pretty much decided by Storm Spirit, besides, of course, other mistakes and whatever fights. But he's always the one rushing in, taking out a target that could be dangerous to the whole fight combo, or he's the one who just does the normal thing, like for item, sapping, vision, whatsoever. So nobody bans him, and I don't understand why. So we have a Gyrocopter and a Storm Spirit, 2 solid cores, that with the Rubik now give us an offlaner, and I already like the TongFu draft.
Yeah, I mean, TongFu, they're on a pretty good path as well, but as far as going up against Storm Spirit, Dream have pretty much everything that you could possibly want. You have instant point click disable with the Lion, you have a little bit of slower follow-up with the Shaker and Leshrac, but a lot of burst damage, a lot of magical damage for the Storm Spirit, and if you shut down the Storm Spirit early, he's going to be less of a problem in the later stages of the game, and these are the perfect heroes to actually do it. And if you are going to put the Storm Spirit in the mid lane, which, might not be the case, but if you're going to put the Storm Spirit in the mid lane, Leshrac and Earthshaker will walk all over him. I'm actually liking Dream Gaming's draft a little bit more, even without this inclusion of the Pugna. Just the 3 heroes that they started out with, I think, is a little bit stronger than what TongFu have, just because there are more direct counters.
Yep, absolutely. And well, with the Lion and the Prisserback, it's quite interesting. I mean, besides the difference between Strength Core and Agility Core, we have one pumping out a lot of magic damage, where I think the Leshrac has the upper hand, and the Gyrocopter is like, for the first 30 minutes, like a kind of a mix. Then later on, the physical part is actually, I guess, surpassing the magic part of it. But yeah, it's a lot of similarities in all of this, except for the fact that the pistol, of course, comes along a lot tankier. Then again, he's still susceptible against magic damage as such, so let's see if maybe he's going to be a pipe carrier or something along the lines that he compensates against Pugna, Storm Spirit, Rubik, and Gyrocopter magic damage.
I'm not really sure where this Pugna actually fits in. Like, I guess, like, Decrepify's okay offensively with the Gyrocopter, and it's kind of good versus Bristleback defensively, but like, are they really going to look to push towers with this type of draft? If they were, I would say, like, well, first of all, the Pugna needs a lane, and that's not exactly going to be safe. Rubik, not exactly a great pusher. Storm Spirit is fine with those early brawls, but he doesn't really do much tower damage either. This Pugna seems like it's just kind of there. I feel like Pugna got a little bit lost and ended up in the wrong game.
Yep, definitely. I mean, we had the Pugna today. I don't know if you were casting at that time or if you watched it. The Pugna there was absolutely a value pick. I have to say it. Like, the Pugna alone, the Nether Ward, completely destroyed a tri-line. They couldn't do anything. Like, even the level 1 Nether Ward is total value because everybody has minus mana regeneration. You actually lose mana all the way. The cooldown is ridiculously low. The mana costs are ridiculously low. You can pretty much keep it up 100%, and unless they find it somewhere in the trees, there's no way you remove it without dying, pretty much. So, as for how it turns out in all the fights and in the later game, well, that's going to be interesting. Leshrac, Lion, of course, they're going to suffer a lot. Earthshaker just does not have the frequency of spells casted to actually suffer from this, except for the mana loss, I guess. The Prisserback is interesting, because he actually has to spam his spells on cooldown, keep up the stacks, keep up everything. Like, I mean, all of his abilities are stackable, like, on himself and on the enemy. So, yeah, he really has to spam. He has to ignore that ward. Then again, he damages himself quite a lot.
Killing off the ward is always going to be the objective for whoever's going up against the Pugna. And if they can do that, then they're going to be good to go. I'm just concerned about this Pugna, like, outside of that ward. If he loses his ward, then what does he actually do? Not that much. I suppose, like, up against Dream, if you do lay a good Nether Ward down at the right time, you can return some high amounts of damage versus these kind of high mana costs yet low health heroes in the Lion, Leshrac, even Earthshaker to a certain extent. Phoenix is the last pick for TongFu, and it looks like it's going to be a support Pugna, support Rubik, support Gyrocopter. Then you have actually a pretty offensive tri-lane right there. Like, Decrepify offensively is, you know, obviously going to depend on who else is in the lane, but if you Decrepify lift someone into a Rocket Barrage, oh man, that hurts a ton.
Yep, absolutely. Well, with that Phoenix, now that's quite interesting, to be honest, because there are not really fast right clickers in there except for the Bristleback. I mean, Leshrac can do his part unless of course he's hit by the spirits. Earthshaker line, you can pretty much forget it. For the duration of a Nova, if they get 2 hits in each, that's a lot. The Bristleback is really gonna be dangerous. And now we have a Beastmaster. Actually, the Beastmaster is gonna be interesting because if he goes Necros and everything, the ball, maybe.
It's a resilient hero, and if it's going to be a Beastmaster going up against this Gyrocopter in lane, just having units to split the Rocket Barrage damage with may end up saving his life. Dream Gaming don't exactly have your classic 2 supports and then 1 hard carry type lane, but hey, if you have Lion Shaker on a very nomadic position, just always looking for those kills with their stuns, they could very easily get help from Bristleback, Beastmaster, or Leshrac, who could all follow up after a primary fissure. So I'm still liking where Dream Gaming are positioned right now. TongFu's draft definitely requires a lot more skill to execute. So I think on the whole, Dream Gaming, a little bit of a safer draft. It's a lot harder to mess this one up.
Yeah, I mean, Dream Gaming, it's really, you have to be completely drunk to miss certain skills here just because you have the perfect setup for it. You have, like, say, Earth Spike number 1, Fissure number 2, you have then later the Primal Roar setup, and all that could be followed up or initiated by the Split Earth. You have, how many slows? You have the Boar, the Hex as such, the Bristleback, Nasal Goo, you have the Lightning, so yeah, like it's a lot of CC on Dream Gaming side. Anyway, let's introduce them really fast. We have Mr. Icy playing here, that Lion. On the Bristleback we have NJ, then Mr. Jo, or Ayo, yeah, I think so, that's correct, on the Earthshaker, and last but not least is Mr. ADD on that Beastmaster. Wait, that wasn't the last, I'm sorry, Jixing is on the Leshrac.
Alright, and on the TongFu side, of course you leave these guys for me. It's going to be X-Bingo on the Phoenix over towards mid. Got LPC, who's just going to be blocking... No, wait, this guy's boots first. This is going to be a mid-Rubik. Okay, this... Wait, no. Okay, he's just blocking. Never mind. U9 is going to be on the Storm Spear with Kabu on the Pugna. That leaves Shinkyu on the Gyrocopter, and I think I, for the most part, got those pronunciations right. Rubik boots first, definitely signifying that he wants to be a little bit more active as far as getting kills are concerned. So this Beastmaster definitely has to be careful, especially since his very early Observer Ward got instantly killed off.
Yeah, so what is this Rubik actually? This is a roaming Rubik with boots. I mean, I like boots early because I don't know how often you see that certain kills are actually not happening because of the higher movement speed of the target you're chasing. Top, that is something where the Phoenix has to be careful, because if the Hex comes out, that can actually get you in the mid of an Icarus dive. Right now, I don't know if I would go for a man fight, Lion versus Phoenix, because I think the Phoenix will have the upper hand. He comes with free armor right now, because of the Ring of Protection, and Lion will just, yeah, pull the short straw right there.
And also Phoenix has a crap ton of regen. Kabu's getting into a fight with ADD. That's not a good fight for the Pugna. This is much worse than the top lane fight, because the Boar is sticking on him and he needs a lift right now, right before the final axe swing. Now into the Rocket Barrage. ADD's in a lot of trouble, looking for that neutral deny. Won't find it. Rubik grabs first blood. His axe was mid-swing and it just wasn't in time up towards top. Phoenix narrowly dodges death up there, but hey, it's TongFu to draw first blood. I don't think that was exactly the plan, but it kind of worked out for them anyway.
Yep, I mean, that was very, very interesting, I have to say. Like nice goal by the Beastmaster. He was well aware that he would have gotten that first blood, but yeah, thanks to the Rubik, and I guess also thanks to the brown boots he had, because without brown boots he would have never been there in time. So yeah, they prevented this, turned the first blood around. That was a nice start for Dream Gaming, but yeah, it didn't really turn out. He didn't really learn, however. He's trying to creep skip a bit, but now he's in a so awkward position that they still have the telekinesis if they want to, lifting him up, throwing him. No, I actually thought they're gonna try to throw him on the cliff or something like that.
Usually you move him because you can, like there's no reason not to, but hey, Beastmaster, I don't think was gonna die anyway, especially after that blast missed. Granted, level 1 blast doesn't actually do all that much damage, but still, ADD is gonna survive right now. At this point, Beastmaster probably gonna reconsider going that far out, even though the likes of Rubik and Pugna, not really great in a man fight. Just having 2 range heroes constantly picking at you is really hard to deal with. Even though it's a Beastmaster, he is fairly tanky. He's not infinitely tanky as such. Up towards top, Bingo in a lot of trouble right now. Fissure's gonna fly, and the Lion is only level 1 right now. Here comes the Bristleback. There's no Icarus dive for 2 seconds, and it looks like Bristleback will get the kill. He will. It's a narrow kill, but a kill nonetheless for Dream.
Wow, that was That was such a narrow passage left there, like between the fissure and the wall. I didn't even think he would get out of there. Either way, that ties it up 1-1, and I think they want to go here aggressive on the Beastmaster. If not for the Beastmaster, they're gonna go aggressive on this tower. We have, well, level 1 flak cannon. That's not gonna clear out the creeps. Maybe they're using the rocket barrage here on the creeps. I'm not so sure, but I think they're gonna produce a lot of pressure on this tier 1 tower, which I like because it's early and easy money.
Rubik's got himself in a corner right now. Very awkward place to be. You don't really see this push happening all that much. I mean, Pugna can push towers, but with level 1 Blast, again, not really an extraordinary skill at doing so. They don't even have a Ring of Basilius. There's a Wraith Band on Gyrocopter, so Ring of Basilius going to be coming up, I would assume, at some point in this game. Wait, no, did he just sell it? Yes, he just sold it. No, he dropped it. Okay, I don't know why you drop a Wraith Band, but either way, yeah, Gyrocopter would have usually grabbed that if they're going to go for the push, but clearly their objective in this game is to push and group up with this Pugna and push as much as possible. Going for that early and going for it unpunished, that bodes pretty well for TongFu.
Yep, absolutely. 4-minute in-house. How's the mid doing? Like, the Leshrac is on a 16-7, and we have the Storm Spirit on a 19-3, so it's fairly even, where the Leshrac has some more deny against the Storm Spirit. Level-wise, they're pretty much equal. When it comes to the runes, well, top is at the moment dominated by Dream Gaming. I think that's gonna be taken by the Leshrac. The supports are already guarding it, even though the Phoenix is there. Does he do a Icarus dive? If so, he might actually get hexed mid-flight, so that's not happening. At the moment, he's just going for some harass. The spirits are coming out, but oh, you don't want to be here. The Rubik, well, it's hasted. Well, now slow. That Split Earth actually hits, but they don't get the follow-up here. He's still playing around with the spirits. The Storm Spirit just not close enough, and no additional slow with this lift, and still not moving him. That might actually do the trick. Nope, also not dying.
Oh, now here comes a bristleback. Rubik gets struck by the lightning. He's down. Bingo's gonna die in 1 quill spray. He's 2 seconds away from death, and he has nothing he could deny himself with or anything. So Phoenix is screwed. U9 is looking pretty screwed as well. There's a Hex right now, and Icy's definitely gonna turn around for that one. Split Earth is mid-cast. Yeah, I think everyone here on TongFu is just dead.
Yep, that really looks like it. I mean, Storm Spirit locked in, not level 6. He does not get the kill, maybe on the Lion, but he has a Hex. The Phoenix is 100% dead. This is looking really, really bad.
Press F to pay your respects to TongFu's heroes, guys. I think they're all gonna die.
What is F?
F? Press F to pay respects?
No,
there we go. Drop Bear gets it. I'll let it Drop Bear right now, but U9, he gets the sticks off, but the Split Earth was already cast. There's a Hex as well. Actually no mana for Lightning. He's still gonna get beaten down, putting one more hit into the Leshrac. Unfortunately, that wasn't overloaded to splash to the line to get that kill somehow, but yeah, it's gonna be a couple kills for Dream Gaming, and off to a 4-1 start right now. TongFu's draft is really, really, really bad at fighting from behind.
Yep, that is definitely not the start you were looking for. And I mean, it was so promising with, you know, the hasted Rubik, but to be honest, for me, the Rubik is a big question mark, because I don't get why he's not actually doing any movement with the telekinesis. I mean, on level 1, it's not that great and everything, I know, but I think a better positioning would have been, or would have potentially made a difference, especially if that Storm would have gotten an overload there, not to mention the cliffing of the Beastmaster, but who am I to judge? The fact is, it's 1-4, and all these little crashes, they just did not work out, so heads up for Dream Gaming after a bad first blood start.
They're looking to go for ADD one more time. A deep Rubik dive right now forces a TP from the Lion. There's a boar in the area. The Nether Ward goes up as well. Icy being met with a lot of damage as soon as he teleports in, but LPC is actually way far ahead of the rest of the team right now. Fissure is there, plus the creep wave. The tower goes down. Maybe the Rubik's going to pay his price for it. No, he slips into the trees. He'll be just fine. And DG unable to actually chase forward because they couldn't get their hands on the Nether Ward. But from the back end, Leshrac is going to dive in and should do what he can, but that's not much. Here comes the call, and that's going to get 1 kill. ADD on the run as well. One more Rocket Barrage hit is all they need. Shaker's going to throw the Fissure. That will snipe the Rubik, who stuck around for way too long. Did Leshrac just go in behind by himself? Did I just completely miss that?
Yeah, he just went completely YOLO from the river, went up here, but by the time he reached like the retreat button mode, pretty much he was on, I don't know how much HP, and then even got Nether Ward damage. The funny part is the Gyrocopter was for the beginning of the fight, not even level 6, because I thought, okay, they gonna disengage, the fight is gonna be over, and I already had my analysis on my tongue, like saying, wow, if that Gyrocopter would have been level 6, that would have been like a horrible disaster for Dream Gaming, because all of them would have been just dead, and they were also clumped up. The funny part is with the Leshrac feeding himself in, the Gyrocopter dinked level 6 mid-fight, and then he actually got additional kills with the cooldown, so that was actually a nice little scenery.
Alright, so with that tower down, ball lightning over in the mid lane actually. AO gets a Fissure out. That was going to be casted anyway. Now Unan in a little bit of trouble. Pulse Nova not quite going to do it to the Storm. Does he get a lucky lightning bounce? That's the only reason he gets this kill right now. It'll bounce to LPC, but that's about it. Looks like Phoenix not quite at his supernova mark, so no one's going to die in the mid lane, at least not yet. Call down on the bottom lane, actually ADD in a little bit of trouble. There goes the creep wave, Rocket Barrage, not going to do much damage to the Beastmaster, but Beastmaster doesn't really have a great way out of here. Lift up from the... oh, that's actually Pugna, never mind. They'll kill off anyway with the Blast. They all look the same. They're all green and blue and everything like that. Beastmaster going to go down anyway, and over towards mid. Storm Spirit gets caught with the Fissure as well as that Split Earth. Those combos are what I would expect from DG that so far haven't really been coming together.
Yep, like X stun into the Split Earth, that's exactly what I've been looking for most of the time, but it didn't come through except for now. And well, Phoenix, he's also not level 6 yet. Like with the Nova, he could probably make a difference if he does it in a really awkward position, but at the moment, what we are looking for is Icarus dive interrupted by anything, may it be a Hex or a Fissure. That would really do the difference. So Earthshaker, the timing has to be there, and it is there! Exactly what you needed. Now what they need is just one more Bristle, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so well played by Dream Gaming, I have to say, very well played.
Yeah, they get the Phoenix, of course, denying him that level 6 as well, and don't really lose that much in the process. Like, bottom lane's kind of pushing in. Gyrocopter looking at ambush ADD right now. Blind call down, which will obliterate the bird and most of the creep wave. Now the Rocket Barrage damage. Roar is used even, but that makes him sit in there for the second missile, and well, Rocket Barrage does the rest. TongFu doing some work on this bottom lane. Very difficult to get those solo kills as Gyrocopter, but you just have to play your angles correctly, and you can make them happen. So Gyrocopter getting another one for himself. This guy is getting awfully big right now, leading net worth by a very, very large margin.
Yeah, and a Gyrocopter that is on his own, in his own lane, doing well, even killing a 1-1 situation. And that is bad. That is bad because you can dive and kill and rotate as much as you want in mid and in top lane. If you let that core free farm, that's just not gonna work. That's really just not gonna work. And pretty much his mirror role on the other side, the Bristleback, how well is he actually doing? I mean, this is PTs, this is a Ring of Health, okay, so there comes the tankiness, that is a Vanguard, I think that's waiting to be finished, but he's 1k gold away from that Vanguard. Oh, Rubik, what's happening here? He's running into a trap, Split Earth, ouch, that one hurt.
Yeah, there's not much you could do about that. That was a smoke up, so I guess that was kind of worth it for TongFu, or at least not as bad as it could be, but it's going to be even worse if Bingo doesn't realize that there was a ward here. I don't think there's vision for the... oh no, the Radiant definitely saw all the dire heroes there, so that's a little bit awkward. He's going to pop the Fire Spirits, looking to save this top tier 1. Here comes the Storm Spirit, going to get the pullback onto Icy. There's a vision there, now it's a Supernova. They can focus this one down though, but no, they're too busy running away because here comes GQ. Kills off 2 immediately, now going for a third. Bristleback, pretty tanky. Is he tanky enough? Another Icarus dive forward, this time with the Fade Bolt. They'll get the kill on the Bristle. That's a 3 kill for TongFu, and Gyrocopter once again collects huge.
Yep, absolutely. He's always part of those big fights. He gets the kills. It's looking good, and that's also a perfect transition into the tier 1 tower. Only problem is, no creeps. So the creeps, or the non-existing creeps, they slow this down really significantly. However, now space is created to plant also some aggressive walls, just like we saw it from Dream Gaming. Like their ward position, I definitely like it. Like a different position here for the rune. This one actually scouting out the courier, so you also can keep track what items coming in and out. Not to mention you can scout and then kill it.
Oh, LPC grabs a Fissure right now. That's a pretty good one, but he's gonna lose it immediately. Probably. Pulse Nova? Pulse Nova? No, 30 HP. Another lightning from long range. That was some broken lightning cast range, but it's gonna be a kill on the Rubik nonetheless. Now Bingo is on the run. Looks like he'll make a clean path out. Fissure not even gonna be used. So the tower doesn't go down on the top lane. Bottom lane was being pushed by Pugna. Of course, that's, you know, automatically the most rattiest hero everyone thinks about, the Pugna. But yeah, no towers lost from Dream Gaming right now, and they're going to once again group up on top. Last time they did this, it didn't end that well for them. Luckily, this time, Gyrocopter doesn't have enough mana to teleport in and crash the party at the same time.
Yep, so tier 1 tower that one is easy going down. The Pugna, to be honest, yeah, he is getting the tower trade on his own. up there. Now the question is, Dream Gaming, do they want to continue? Because if they continue, the Pugna leaving him alone on the lane, farming, getting the full experience and tower damage, that would be too much. So yeah, they're heading back, but the bait is here. So what they need right now is someone just walking in, spring the trap, and there's even a smoke. But where is that smoke going? That's the question. At the moment they're heading towards their own base just for the rune. Yeah.
Maybe Rubik's gonna walk into it, feeling pretty good. It's like, hey, look, a free creep wave. And it reveals Lestrak. He doesn't know that the Shaker is there, but Shaker is just leaving. Okay. That was a very awkward smoke. They are still technically smoked up, so they may catch someone here. It's going to be the Rubik, if anyone. And yeah, this time, there's the Fissure, Split Earth, Lightning, Axes. He's still alive. He's going to steal a Fissure, throw it out. Now here's the call down onto ADD. He's going to die real quick. And now they're going to charge forward for a little bit more. AO gets a stun, but that's not going to save him completely. One more hit is all they need. And if they can land it, there it is. Double kill for Xinkyu. Now onto Jingxing, who's in the river. He's going to burn. That's going to be a whole bunch of kills. Once again, Gyrocopter in the right place at the right time. He's making so much bank, dude. Drums, Helmet Dominator, Power Treads, 12 minutes in. This is ridiculous.
No, ridiculous is the fact that the Rubik, like, you watch him play and you think he's suicidal with a side dish of mental. But every time he throws himself into the enemy is actually committing so much on in such an awkward position that they lose so many heroes. I mean, this was a Rubik bait that ended in a 1-3 trade. So everything's fine. Plus, of course, Pugna is getting another tower on his own there. That Pugna is actually starting to also build some sort of snowball because he gets the mech, which makes him tanky versus the physical damage, plus he heals up the team. And having a mech at 14 minutes with a Gyrocopter already that farmed, that also means you can actually force fights right now.
That's on a support Pugna as well. Like, it kind of looks like Kabu is playing a Nature's Prophet right now. Like, he isn't really playing like a Pugna. This is something that a Nature's Prophet does. He just split pushes all the time. Except, well, Pugna can't really actively join the fights if he's really needed. But man, Dream Gaming just seems like they don't have enough heroes to withstand the burst coming out from this Gyrocopter and the Storm Spirit together in the main fight. And they don't have another hero to get on top of this Pugna. At this point, Pugna has Mechanism and he has Life Drain. It's really hard to kill this hero off unless you have several heroes of your own for Dream. So they really just need, more heroes in the right place at the right time. They need to be the ones actually getting initiation off because they definitely have enough burst to kill off any given TongFu hero if they're all together and if there's no retaliation from TongFu.
Yep. And also talking about like being hard to kill and everything. Under normal circumstances, the Prismaback should be hard to kill, but yeah, like magic resistance, he's completely lacking that at this point. He's just going for stats, for more HPS and everything. The right clicks well, and in an all-out fight with maximum warpath, I guess that's coming out. Plus the Prism damage. Still, the Gyrocopter is just a hero, and that's why he was and is now again so popular. He's online so early. Because he can fight already now, while the Prismaback, I mean, you saw it in the last fights, he was, yeah, completely overwhelmed with the magic damage coming his way. Some Blast, a bit ward, a bit cold down here, and then he's so low on HP that he can't really work around with Quill Sprays. So that's the biggest problem. Dream Gaming, they don't have a core that's actually online.
Yeah, Beastmaster is really just like for those small scale fights. When the fights get bigger, when there's 4 or 5 heroes on each side involved, then the Beastmaster's impact definitely a little bit lessened. So right now, Dream Gaming just have to avoid the huge 5-on-5s, like up against the Call Down, the Supernova, and the Nether Ward. If Pugna is there with the mech as well, it's going to be really hard for Dream Gaming to actually execute those fights. But still, on the small scale, that's really where they're king. So if they could use this Hawk to set up aggressive plays instead of, always on the defensive, then they'll be in a much better position. But it looks like first it's going to be Lestrak, not jumped by U9. That's actually pretty surprising. I thought he would have went for that. It's actually on bottom lane where Kabu and bingo.
Good
they're
position.
Surrounded for the most part.
Yeah, the Beastmaster is actually in a good position. If he would come out for an ultimate, that would be amazing. At the moment, the Hawk is scouting. They have exact vision what's going on, even behind the tower, but I don't think they go for it.
The Hawk is going to die to the tower. Sad times for the bird, and the rest of Dream Gaming, they're still smoked up. This is kind of what they need to do, except they need to not mess up while they do it. U9 has a haster, and he kind of looks like he wants in. Kabu maybe playing the role of bait. There's a no Fissure. Shaker actually holds on to that one. Dream Gaming, I don't think they're going to bite this, but while this is happening, Gyrocopter is shoving the top lane, and there's a tier 1 tower that he could teleport into. I don't really see a scenario where Dream Gaming take this fight. They have to back off and look
Yeah.
for the smaller engagements.
And the gyrocopter is on the way to finish like S and Y. This is Battle of Strength already picked up 200 gold for say the Orca Club, and then 600 gold for the recipe. Then he's actually done with it. This is a 17 minutes drums dominator phase boosts S and Y with the side laning items of Aquila and Magic Wand. He is just fat. Like, there's no other word to describe this in Dota terms. He's just really, really fat. He is 3k, more than 3k, 3.3k above the first on Dream Gaming, and that is like really a lot at this point.
I feel like every single time Dream Gaming have made an attempt to smoke up, or obviously they want to kill off the gyrocopter, because why wouldn't you? They always run into someone else. It's always the Rubik, pretty much, and well, Rubik is not exactly a tanky hero, but he buys enough time for the reinforcements to come in. And while we're talking about the gyrocopter being extremely farmed, he's kind of an outlier right now. Storm Spirit is a little bit more moderately farmed right now, yet he's still farming very well. Bloodstone is going to be completed very, very shortly. Plus, Phoenix has a Hand of Midas, so his Supernova is going to get a lot more difficult to deal with. So, Dream Gaming, while they're not actively getting kills, they're pretty actively falling behind.
Yep, Hand of Midas now coming out of the Phoenix. We just saw some stats with it. I'm not a big fan. Then again, it's probably at this position for TongFu nice, because they have a gyrocopter that carries them properly through. The Storm Spirit is not doing bad, so everything you have on top of that farming now that translates into more gold and more XP is fine, because it gives you even more of a lead. Talking about lead, that's something I'm really curious about. Looking at the graphs, we are 18 minutes into game, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, 7.5k for TongFu right now. This is quite a bit. When it comes to experience, it's even more. A lot more. 12k in experience. That's insane. And there's now a Midas rolling as well.
Oh, Rubik. Not again, Rubik. This time he has vision. He's going to grab a spike. Seeing it's only level 3. It's only level 6 Lion. But Kabu comes in from the back. He lays down the Nether Wart. But there's so many heroes here. He's going to get the mech off. Buy him a little bit of time. And not enough. Here comes U9. Right into a Hex he goes. And he's going to be up against many heroes. But the call down is there. Echo Slam not going to do quite enough right now with the Supernova and the call down. That's an instant double. Triple, in fact, as it's going to be NJ on the run. Rocket Barrage, too much damage. And the Leshrac, he's the last one alive. Chased down by the remnants of the Storm Spirit's mana. Gets a pullback. That's a clean team wipe. This is why you don't group up, guys, because Supernova and Call Down, that shit hurts.
Absolutely. I mean, it looked good. Like, okay, Pogna is out. He's not healing his team. There's no Netherward to fight with, and they crapify against Strike Lakes, whatnot. But the follow-up was just ouch. And the funny part is they lost this pretty much most of the fight, 5-on-4 already. That was with the gyrocopter still being busy TPing to the tier 2 tower and actually joining that fight. He joined the fight, but that was more like a janitor work, because he just cleaned up the rest of that mess, and that's it. Now he's pushing the tier 2 tower. He might even get it, to be honest, the speed he has.
Another ward is there, which will make Dream Gaming a little bit more hesitant to actually go in on this one. It is going to get to hit a little bit now that Decrepify is there, punishing a little bit, and it's going to be Shifu in a little bit of trouble right now. He lays the call down on the deck, and that's going to force everyone else from Dream to fall back. TongFu could even initiate here if they really want to. U9 having so many Bloodstone charges can very easily just wait for a couple more seconds, be at full. Even Bingo is going to grab himself a regen. So TongFu, just like that, are pretty much ready to go. Supernova is the only thing that they don't actively have right now, and Call Down will be up in just a couple seconds again. So Dream Gaming, they really need to have a break soon. Like, this kill score doesn't look too bad. If you just dropped into this game, you would think that this game is pretty even, until you see that the gyrocopter has, well, actually 100% kill participation rate. That's insane.
Absolutely, it's just insane. So TongFu looks so good. The funny part is they look so good without actually leading that much in kills. I mean, usually you look at such graphs when, I know there's 10 kills difference, whatnot, but this is really just pure meta farming, ancient stacking, constant ancient stacking. I mean, that was he cleared a double ancient stack as well as twice triple stacks, and of course on top of that he's always been the one who is on the cleanup crew for fights, or he's the one who survives it and just witnesses all those kills. That's why also the gyrocopter is so rich. He's 14k now, which is again like 4k ahead of the course on the other side.
Credit to Dream Gaming where it's due. Bristleback has also been pretty diligent about, AO in the mid lane. Barely getting out of there, 3 HP. Really? Fade Bolt from downtown? No, that's not gonna happen. Actually, Bristleback wanders into the wrong neighborhood right now. Full on Rocket Barrage to the dome. Phoenix even gonna dive forward, letting a little bit more fire down on the deck. Earn charges there with another Rocket Barrage, another Spike. Will bail out yet another hero. Now TongFu. He's gonna get roared up. Supernova is there. Just make sure that Dream Gaming don't pursue. They get out with 2 heroes, but now here comes U9. He's gonna clean up 1 kill at the very least. He gets stunned up by pretty much everything in the book. He will have to fall back right now, but in the meantime, we have our Nature's Prophet, Kabu, on the bottom lane, just shoving that one out, being a rat. 17-12, and well, I guess that could have gotten a lot worse for Dream Gaming, but yeah, that was also pretty darn bad. But as I was saying, the Bristleback has also been stacking pretty religiously. It's the problem that none of his allies are actually able to survive the AoE burst, that suddenly Bristleback is the only one alive in every single fight.
Yep, I mean, that was an easy fight. That was an entire Dream Gaming roster running from a single gyrocopter with some people in the background that were about to arrive to the fight. Yeah, Pagna wasn't even there. He was like full-time on the tower, getting even more gold into it. There's just one outer tower left, and even that one is on 50% HP. We are, yeah, marching towards that point where TongFu can say, guys, we got this, let's try high ground, but before maybe go into Roshan, something like that. At least that's how the Chinese mind works, at least judging by the games we had so far in this tournament. So yeah, pushing top, get into tier 2 tower, maybe winning a fight, or just grabbing a kill like the Beastmaster. He has still his ultimate on cooldown now. It would be ready, but he's not even casting it. He's not getting a wide. Telekinesis just finishes the entire thing off. Also, the Earthshaker now. He's gonna die just by the damage over time. But, well, the Bristleback is joining the fight, and now the Quill Spray amount is high. It's really high. Also, the Gyrocopter has to be careful, because more Quill Sprays would be horrible. But, of course, BKB, no problem. Leshra can't do anything. He suicides, which puts him down to 5 charges on a fresh Bloodstone. With all of this happening, which is again a 5-on-4 situation, Pagna is like, yo, guys, you do that nicely. I gonna go for the towers.
Dude, Kabu's playing his own game right now. Like, he's playing some sort of PvE version of Dota. I didn't know they added that in Reborn. I'm actually surprised that he went for a Glimmer Cape and Mechanism. Like, those are good items to have on this kind of utility-ish hero. But not when you play like this. This is when you really wish that Kabu went for a straight Necro 3, because he could be knocking on the front door of the tier 3s right now if he had those items. But, you know, it doesn't really matter all that much, because at the end of the day, TongFu, they still get a whole bunch of action over in the mid lane. That was probably the worst fight that they've had all game, and it was still really good for them. Shiva's Guard now completed on the Phoenix. BKB, that was the first charge being used in the Gyrocopter, but right after the BKB, suddenly 2,700 gold, because that seems fair. Right now, Dream Gaming need to just not get jumped like that, and they also need to watch their positioning right now. As you said, tier 2 tower straight into the Roshan they go. Gyrocopter, I think, has enough to solo this one without too much trouble, but he is spotted. Well, you gotta respect that from the Beastmaster. The question is, can Dream Gaming actually do anything about this? They have ADD circling around from the right. Kabu is there with another ward at such a painful position for Dream Gaming. How do they deal with this? Well, lightning spam is step 1. Now Bristleback's gonna charge the front lines. U9 is there to ward him off. And, well, Roshan's gonna die slowly but surely. Eventually, Dream Gaming have to do something, because if they just sit back right now, it's not gonna be a winning prospect for them. U9 gonna be at full vision right now onto the Shaker. He's even gonna jump forward and pick him off. Shaker's sleeping. Really needs to throw something up, but he's pulled back right now, and the Static Grimace should get the kill. Phoenix even gonna dive in with the Shiva's Guard. Fire everywhere. Gonna force AO and NJ away from the Leshrac. That's gonna kill off the Leshrac. Now NJ, BKB, TP. Looks like there's nothing that TongFu have to interrupt that one, and, well, ADD, he tried to get into the fight, but he was way too far away. That's an easy 3 kill for TongFu, plus a free Roshan at the very least. And Beastmaster, well, maybe he gets some damage on a tier 2. That's not exactly a win.
Yep, and that's the beginning of the end pretty much right there, because with the H's, I think they have enough balls farmed together to, yeah, go high ground. Because that's the next step. There's nothing to grab but more of an advantage on this map pretty much, which they already have by far. You see those fights, and it's kind of hilarious. So the game spiraling out of control for Dream Gaming. I don't know, sometimes we saw games that actually are lost pretty much the second people try to go high ground, and there is some nice defense coming out, but if you look at it, Dream Gaming, they do not have the crazy high ground defense. Sure, there's lightning spam, there's Bristleback, maybe some blocking fissures, some X spam, but that is also just going for that long. Maybe with only one lane pushed in, yes, that might actually work to push it away. If they push for 2 lanes, no.
And also with the Storm Spirit and a Phoenix who could just bypass all of that and just start a fight even without a creep wave. Like for Dream Gaming, you can't really anticipate that. I mean, I guess you can, but you can't really do anything after having anticipated it. Like there's going to be a Supernova in your base, there's going to be a BKB Storm Spirit in your base, and of course the Pugna is going to lay down the Nether Ward beforehand, so you can't really just take that fight as it comes. You have to leave your base and actually actively hunt that Nether Ward down, or else you're just going to die. And speaking of just going to die, ADD jumped once again. Poor Beastmaster, dude. You gotta feel a little bit of pity for him, just because all he wants to do is make sure that this creep wave doesn't hit his buildings. But now suddenly the creep wave is gonna hit his buildings with nether blasts on top of it, with a very farmed gyrocopter butterfly in the works for him. Although at this point you can probably go Ethereal Blade and still come out with a victory. If I was the gyro, might as well, as this tower is not really defended. The counter push, as you said, is kind of there for the creep wave, but not there for any of the heroes. Storm Spirit jumps straight in for the Lion. Glimmer Cape's going to keep him alive for right now. BKB is used by the Storm. Looking for perhaps round 2. No, he's just going to back off, go for the objective. No, he wants to go for the Leshrac instead. Jump forward once again. There's Glimmer Cape available to Leshrac this time, but call down and Supernova is so much damage. Glimmer or not, I think Leshrac is going to die here. Shaker as well. Going to bite the dust. Shinku pops the BKB, charges the front lines. Phoenix going to dive one more time. BKB is being stalled out by the gyrocopter because he got hit by the Roar, but ADD is going to pay the price there. Roar even being returned, and that will kill off the Beastmaster. And even the Bristleback, so tanky, yet he's so still going to die outside of his fountain. That's just a BM kill if I ever saw one. Lion is cowering in his base because, well, he can do nothing but watch his base fall.
See, and there the stats also flying in, like flying high, flying in. Stats affirmative. Gyrocopter is just having a hell of a game, and then with a split pushing, not disturbed, not stopped, Pugna, and a Storm Spirit who just makes all the plays when it comes to initiation, so the Gyrocopter really just needs to press forward and right click. Everything is completely fine for TongFu, which means, yeah, the first step is made, 1 down, 2nd down, and to be honest, with the creep waves already at the river line, I think they can just replicate this, because how is it going with the mana? Okay, Pugna has to go back, he's really out of mana. The same pretty much for the Rubik. He has Tranquil Boots, which is of course a downside. If he had Arcanes, would be better with the mana, I guess.
But even if TongFu can't instantly get a second set of Raxes, they're in absolutely no rush. They can play this as slow as they possibly want. Rubik went for a first item Aghanim Scepter, which I've never seen before, because usually Aghanim Scepter is kind of worthless without some sort of positioning item, Force Staff, Blink to actually help you and steal the skills that you want. But he has Roar, and it's a level 2 spell steal, so that Roar is going to stay up for a very, very long time. Granted, it's only level 1, but Primal Roar's range with Aghanims is freaking redonkulous, and Rubik just suddenly became a third initiator for TongFu.
Yeah, and talking about Roar, by the way, this Roar, this Beastmaster pick as such, except for that almost first plague, like, it was never a Primal Roar, it was always a Death Roar. And talking about Death Roar, the Bristleback actually might die here. There's the Rubik's initiation, or the disable rather, and yeah, Bristleback going down in the enemy base, in his own base, I mean, and now they're in the enemy base just working on the next objective, which is bottom.
Bristleback is supposed to be the tanky one, right? Like, that was supposed to be the frontliner for DG, because he got solo killed by a Storm Spirit. I guess, like, he technically got help. U9's gonna take all the spells, but he doesn't care, actually. He barely lost any HP. Now he's gonna dive straight to the back lines. Gonna go for Icy. This line is doomed to fall. Beastmaster gets eaten up by the tidal wave that's coming into the Dire base. NJ, he's gonna pop BKB, try to get back to his fountain. But U9 doesn't care about the fountain. He's a man. Echo Slam really big on the back lines. Gonna catch 3, which may kill off all of TongFu. LPC, he's gonna back off right now. He'll survive when U9 revives from the Aegis, and he's just gonna try to play games in the enemy fountain. He will pay the price ultimately, but he's back again because he had that many Bloodstone chargers, and they get the Raxes even after pounding around LPC. He's still alive, but I don't think he's gonna last for very long. Kabu finished the job. Actually, no, he doesn't have enough mana to finish the job. It's time to run, Kabu. I don't think Kabu's gonna get away. They forced some buybacks. He's gonna try to TP out. AO Enchant Totem, not gonna connect. It looked like it was going to land. Kabu gets away.
To be honest, like, all fun aside and everything, but I think they did the whole fountain diving part a bit too early, because the Rex is not down. So Kabu was playing his game, you're right. It's like, for all those who love World of Warcraft, this was the PvE mode, like Rex Dungeon or whatever you want to call it, and he did not kill the end boss in this dungeon. That's the biggest problem. So Rex still standing, the dive and all the feed is real. So yeah, look at the drop in experience. But net worth wise, wow, I thought this is a larger drop.
I mean, it's still pretty good for Dream Gaming, but like bottom line, they're still a racks and a half down. That's quite a deficit. There's still Hannah Midas working on the Phoenix, and Dream Gaming, if they don't get that 3-man Echo, if they don't have the Fountain as a damage output source, can they actually replicate that at all? I don't think the answer is yes. Although if Shaker now has a Shadow Blade, Blink Dagger, this guy is actually pretty darn farmed, all things considered. You wouldn't expect this many items on a Shaker. I guess that's because Beastmaster's been getting the short end of the stick, but TongFu, they know that bottom lane's going to be pushing by itself. They're going to shove top lane as best they can, and even though they died a couple times, it's not really that a big deal.
Yeah. At the moment, TongFu is just like, okay guys, when do we actually finish this? Because they have all the means to finish this. It's really just the clowny part at the moment, like the, I don't know, not just kick your enemy, like also, I don't know, sit on his face and yeah. Anyway, it's really humiliation. That's what TongFu wants at this point. But Dream Gaming, well, they're not giving this up. Actually, they find the Phoenix here, and this is an easy kill. Even the finger committed, but the problem is, oh, look at it. BKB heaven right now, and they're dying right and left. The Gyrocopter going full ham now on the Leshrac, who is invisible for just some seconds, but now that ends right here, and they lose 4 in the process. Only the Bristleback is surviving, who's, well, not planning to have a part in all of this.
He was a little bit too far away to have an actual role there. Lion's going to buy back. Beastmaster has a buyback available to him. But Phoenix is back, and Storm Spirit has enough mana regeneration and enough mana pool inherently just to dive in straight to this Bristleback if he feels so inclined. And he will do just that, force the BKB out. Looks like Phoenix overshot a little bit, didn't make the full Icarus loop, but hey, there's barely any response from Dream Gaming, so you might as well get a free set of Raxes. Sounds like a pretty good deal, as even with the Leshrac up, it's going to be way too late. Lion, it seems like he just wants to survive the oncoming onslaught, and he's just going to hide in the trees, but yeah, they have vision, or vision tools enough. Call down right in front of the enemy Fountain. It's time for Fountain Dive round 2. ADD's going to survive this time, and Jay barely worked down. He will get dropped, and Supernova will keep everyone else from Dream Gaming in their base. That's GG. That's a forceful GG call.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that GG call had to come a tiny bit earlier already, but Gyrocopter just diving the Fountain, cleaning up there too. But Lion, I think Lion was looking for a finger, but I think that finger was not enough for Gyrocopter to kill anyway. So, TongFu definitely the favorite here in this game. Dream Gaming just not living up to the performance they should have had, to be honest, in this one.
You know, I liked Dream Gaming's draft. I just think they kind of botched a couple of those early fights, and then things got way out of control. It's going to put Dream Gaming at a 0-4 score, and I think that might mean they're completely out, although I don't know. There's still a couple more games to be played. TongFu are sitting comfortably on top right now.
Yeah, TongFu is definitely in. That's for sure. For the rest we have to see. And Jesus Lord, why is my Skype not working? Anyway, guys, we gonna come back for the next game, which is let me look on the schedule. It's gonna be VG Gaming versus Newbie. So actually, yeah, that's a matchup where we have.
That's important.
Yes, it's an important match because there is actually about points that matter, and it's also two teams that are on like similar skill set, I'd say.
Yeah, and the sun is starting to come up, so we should hope that the lobby comes up too.
I think for my time zone the sun is going down. Anyway, guys, so yeah, we're back. We just gonna drop this here, and we'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes.